Welcome back to Remnant Rumination. I'm Rebecca. We have been starting to explore various yoga poses and how they connect to scripture. Today we'll be building on that by talking about a breathing posture. So we're going to be talking about lion's breath today. Now, lion's breath can be used in lots of different ways, but oftentimes it's used as a cleansing breath to release a lot of energy that's been held in your body, and especially after you've been doing a lot of intense asanas or postures, maybe a flow. So sometimes when you get into downward dog, you can take lion's breath, but you can also take lion's breath just as a regular posture. So we're going to get into that posture right now. We're going to get on our hands and knees. And oftentimes you'll see people turn their hands backwards like this. And then you want to sink back a little bit, but you want to get a nice solid grounding down through the hands and towards your feet. And then sometimes you'll see people take lion's breath with their eyes pointed up to their third eye, which is that space in between your eyebrows. But you can also take it with your eyes closed. So when you take lion's breath, you want to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you stick your tongue out, lift your eyes up to that third eye point or close your eyes and just exhale as hard as you can. Right? And try it again. Inhale. Exhale. You can feel that release of energy. You can also take it as you get into downward dog. Same thing. Inhale deeply and then exhale with your tongue out, either eyes closed or pointed up to that third eye. It feels really nice to have that release of energy. Now, as you think about in the scripture, the lion, there's lots of imagery here. But I'm going to focus on breath first. So if we think about breath, God breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life when he first created Adam. And his spirit came into Adam. So in Greek and a lot of other cultures, when you talk about breathing, you're talking about spirit and being alive. So if you think about having breath, you're being alive, which is so amazing to think about. And, you know, as we think about being cleansed, I think about David when he was talking about having weariness in his bones, and he was writing about in the Psalms difficult times. I think about Psalm 51, he said, "Cleanse me with hyssop and I will be clean. Wash me and I will be whiter than snow." So that idea of God coming in and cleansing all of the impurities out of you, it reminds me of that deep cleansing breath that you take just to smooth out the energy and to release whatever you're holding. And then as we think about the image of the lion, we get this picture of Christ. He's called the Lion of Judah, the Lamb who was slain. I think of lots of songs. Hail, hail, Lion of Judah, how powerful you are. That's the call and response song. But then also, I think about the idea in Hosea when God says he will roar like a lion and all of his people who are scattered, the remnant, will be gathered back to him. They will come trembling toward him. And I think about in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or in the Chronicles of Narnia in general, this image of Aslan, the lion, that C.S. Lewis created to represent Christ, and how he is described as wonderful but also terrible. So this idea of a lion being strong and powerful and evoking this sense of presence, you know, he's the king of the beasts, as lions are called, but also, you know, it evokes a sense of terror. It can, but it can also evoke a sense of comfort for those who are following the true lion, the one who will restore Israel to its proper place. It's just something amazing to ponder. I've been reading a lot of Hosea recently, and just this idea of God bringing his people back. No matter how far they strayed, he always wants them to come back. And yes, they do get punished for their actions by being taken into captivity, but God really wants to restore them back to himself. It's a beautiful picture as we think about redemption and this idea of God restoring the remnant. I hope that you take these words to heart today and that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.